The SEC case against XRP is now over. This has been on our minds for a while now, so it can't be news, right? If we think about it, this happened 7 days ago, but after the news, there was a lot of doubt about whether or not this was really over. So we'll have to wait a while until the SEC gives us an update and clears the air. Also, guess what? We didn't have to wait long, though, because the SEC just sent us the news. This was pushed on the 12th. This was the public release of the document that went along with the news that both sides had filed for dismissal together. This is the whole change right now. It says August 7th on the cover, but it came out on August 12th. And just inside this, it spells out the firing from both sides. To say it again, this is a clear statement from the SEC that the case is over. Now, I've been saying for a while that once this case is over, there will be a big change around Ripple and XRP. And now that ROUSD has been added, it will also see some very, very big gains. It's not price movement that I mean when I say gains. Adoption is what I mean. Partners know and market exposure. Many things will happen now involving Ripple, XRP, and ROUSD that we would not have seen before because this case was still going on. I'm really looking forward to putting this behind us now. And there was a big problem in front of us that was really holding us back. Now, there is nothing stopping XRP from, reaching a new all-time high, being accepted and being used. Ripple could grow and eventually form partnerships with some very big names. ROUSD could even join those partnerships, and who knows what will happen next. However, I believe that the markets for Ripple, XRP, and even ROUSD will see some pretty big changes in the near future. Chester Pierce did write a post last week in which she said the SEC case AGA Inst Ripple was finally over. This is a good change for many reasons, including the fact that minds who used to be busy with lawsuits can now focus on making crypto regulations clear. There was no doubt about it after these events. Now they are set on making a clear set of rules for crypto regulation. Also, Paul Atkins replied and said that Commissioner Pierce was right. Now that this part is over, we can move our focus from the courtroom to the table where policies are being written. Our main goal should be to create a clear set of rules that encourages new ideas and keeps clients safe. Also, guess what? It looks like the crypto business is about to go through a huge change. All of this is part of the secret project that Polikins talked about. It's also exciting to finally be done with the biggest crypto case and get things going that will really make this place more valuable. Not just news, but everything. Just adopt someone, please. Okay. It seems like this case really slowed down a lot of things. A lot of people don't want to believe it, but we think of Ripple as a private company that only cares about making money. You should keep in mind Ripple and what it wants to do with crypto, though. It's true that they want a lot of people to use this technology. Now that there are no more problems, they could also make it possible for a lot of people to use crypto technology. We didn't know how much this case slowed things down, but I think it did. People only thought about one thing, how the price of XRP changed. But there's a lot more going on behind the scenes that we are still looking at and concentrating on that this case is over with. Now, let's talk a little more about that and talk about a few things. Let's talk about the growth of the XRP market with ROUSD. So, on August 9th, Epic Chain said that it was continuing to build out its XRPN additive infrastructure and connecting every part of its RWA stack with ROUSD. Epic is planning to add Ripple USD to its environment, which will give it a native USD settlement layer. This will power talk. And this is just one more layer on top of that. Besides that, Mesh gave us a big update on August 12th, saying that it now accepts Ripple USD. ROUSD is now one of more than 50 approved tokens, and stores will accept it at checkout. This is yet another big growth. That being said, everyone kept talking about how most of the ROUSD stock was on Ethereum right now. Now take a look at this from vet_x0. It looks like the ROUSD portion has been moved from Ethereum to XRP. Take a look at the rotation. We could see 20 million ROUSD being burned at the ROUSD bank if we look here. It was done with Etherscan. Then 20 million ROUSD were made from the ROUSD reserve on the XRP ledger. These happened 4 minutes apart. This is a huge change that shows ROUSD will continue to grow on the XRP system. In fact, we can see that going over here. ROUSD 642 million, which is 24% more than 30 days ago. We could also see that the number of transfers each month went up by 28% to 3.37 billion. Active addresses and users each month are also up a lot. On the other hand, a quick look at the XRP ledger market shows that share is up about 13% plus. And in the last 30 days, it's been up more than 30%, beating Ethereum. And we're almost there. ROUSD on the XRP ledger is almost worth $100 million. We could also see the growth over here. XRP ledger's market cap has grown by 75%. The RWA worth has also gone up by 60% in the last 30 days. It is very exciting to see that stablecoin use on the XRP system is beginning to grow quickly. That's also clear with USDC. There are some other stablecoins here as well, Euro and Euro P. I'm looking forward to seeing a lot more of these really hit the XRP ledger and also a lot more of them add to the XRP ledger right now, since some of these like Euro P have almost no value right now. But I think that will change in the future. Besides that, though, Monica Long gave us a big news. She told us exactly what will happen with Ripple and the XRP system now that the case is almost over. Thanks a lot. Subjective views. This is what we have. Building liquidity between key currency pairs is all that Ripple does. It does this mostly through its cross-border payment solutions, and the use of XRP as a bridge currency are making it easier to send money across borders and reducing problems, which helps the company reach its goal of making global banking systems work better together. Look it over. That's because I think people are really getting behind stable coins and seeing how they can be used for more than just selling them for profit. Second, steady coins have been very important to our business of making payments. We've been using stable coins for a while now to make blockchain-based payments across borders much faster and cheaper. That's why it's better if we can feel like we own our goods more. I believe there are two main paths that can be taken to make stablecoin payments the standard or to really take off and spread around the world. One is linking blockchains to devices in the home. And really, that's what Ripple has been working hard on for the past few years, building the network. In the same way that there are many ways to make payments, there are many ways to reach the same goal. It's also important to have enough cash on hand. If you look at the foreign exchange markets in 2024, they had 2 to 4 times as much trading in foreign exchange as they did in stable coins, which was about $25 trillion. Most of this trading was speculation. As a result, the next task for our industry is to make sure that stablecoins can be bought and sold across a wide range of key currency pairs such as the AED. Ripple has a lot of XRP coins. A group of core ledger writers also works for us and are always coming up with new ways to use the ledger. So I think that for one thing, we've always been working to come up with ways to use the XRP ledger's features. And yes, I think it's been helpful to have the skills in-house for both blockchain development and the business teams that are building solutions on top of it. And now that we think about it, right, the market for crossword puzzle payments has just become whole again. We have known about Ripple during the whole time they were being sued by the SEC, right? They've been growing in countries other than the US. Ripple can now sell its products all over the US. A lot of these use cases are going to be addressed in the future. It's true that she talked about exchange rates. The FX market is ready for something to go wrong. Every day it's worth $7.5 quadrillion. Now these places will be used. And if we think about crossword payments, they are worth more than $199 trillion right now and are expected to hit $320 trillion by the year 2022. And stablecoins are already an important part of this space. Stablecoins are linked to $262 billion or $3.36 trillion in monthly transfers. When it comes to spending, stablecoins are changing everything. Ripple can now get ROUSD to be used all over the world since the market is now fully open. Besides that, I believe that the use of ROUSD will start to rise quickly from now on. With all the news about purchases, including the most recent one with Rail Financial, this was a big one that should be looked into more closely. When we think about Rail, they process $10 billion a year, had over 12 bank partners, and had 95% settling time at zero. It was like this was an important stablecoin system for them to use. There are also a lot of formal players involved. We also know that Ripple is concentrating on the business world. The conditions we are seeing right now are ideal for Ripple, XRP, and ROUSD. That's why I kept saying, listen, once this case is over, there is nothing stopping XRP. I also think that's why ROUSD has been getting so much use and growth. We are seeing more and more chances for ROUSD in the market.